Well, hello, Leon here, one half of the King of Stings. Today what I have to show you is a bird's box. It's not a nesting box, but a bird's box. And the issues with this bird box are a couple. Let me just find it. For starters, the material of the box is very cold. It is very thin. So these bees will actually die out, would have died out over winter. So it's important to get them going. Now we've got a couple of things in our favour and a couple of things that act against us. The first thing is the bees are going to die if we do nothing. Second thing is the bees are incredibly calm. They're a really nice bunch of bees. So I'm going to start this in two ways. I'm actually hoping to get some smokes down into this hive box underneath it. If I can get some under there, that might make my life a little bit easier. Then what I have to do fairly quickly is to get the box apart, okay? And that will involve, if you look at it, taking apart a couple of screws here. There's one. There's another. I'm not even convinced that I need to completely undo them, just enough so that I can rip them out with my hive tool. There's another down here. I've got about 10 of these things to do, and I've got to do it fairly quickly because while these bees are calm, I'm actually wrecking their house. Wrecking their house is going to naturally make them cranky. Okay, if they're cranky, they're going to be stingy. They're stingy, well, guess who gets stung? There's another one just under the wax there that these guys are waxed over. Okay, so this is now a good thing because it should be possible to get the hive tool, which is over here, and crank it away. As I said, this isn't an optimal time to doing things. It's cold, it's 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half of dusk, but there is a flow going on. So if I tackle it late in the day and get it done quickly, there's a moderate chance that I won't have too many robbing issues. And then that with a bit of feed and a little bit of TLC and a tiny bit of love, all of these will be good and they'll survive through to winter. Now I have noticed in removing them, they're one of the most gentlest bunch of bees I've ever come across. So I actually quite like their genetics, just because they're nice girls. Famous last words. So here is the end of the box, typical end. This is just honeycomb that's in here. Really need to get these girls off. So we'll do that now. Get that comb out of my way because it's actually a problem, and get on quickly. Bearing in mind, temperature at the moment is probably only about, well, it would be 20 degrees C, but that is not really the sort of temperature that I'd want to leave the brood open for a very long period of time at all. So, this is why I like hive tools. They're absolutely destructive things. Okay, look at that. Oh, nice broods too. Okay, I got good feelings about this hive. I'm going to give everyone a bit of a smoke again. See if I can scare them down before I start to frame up some brood to attract some nurse bees down. by the way, that way of using a smoker is not to communicate with bees or to shut down their communication. It's essentially to terrify them into getting out of your way. And that's essentially what my goal is. Okay, let's have a look at this. Alrighty, I'll just pull you over to give you a peek inside. So if you have a look inside, there's a lot on the bottom, and I've already got a lot into my box, so I'm happy so far. Just having a scan up and down those combs, you can see all this stuff is very fresh. Honeycomb that broke before and brewed inside of it. So we're just going back to the box disassembling. I really need to move on this quickly. These girls will be starting to experience quite a bit of stress at the moment. So I'm going to move what I can off. Find where I put my screwdriver. See if I can take the side off. Once all of this is done, we're actually in quite good shape if we can do this. You can see the Phillips hole in the screw. Remembering, of course, that bee removal pictures tend to be idealised forms of the reality. Usually something goes wrong. Here the sorts of things that can go wrong is this box falls apart on this hive, bees go everywhere, and perhaps in that sort of situation the queen might get squashed. So we're going to try and avoid all of that unpleasantness from happening. And I think we will be okay. Getting some of this comb out of the way. Really don't want it to fall into the new nest. Okay. Now remembering with this, this is likely to break a lot of comb. Now what I'm after at the moment is not to even to get all of this comb. I just want to get some of it into a place where I can get it into the box. And that's going to require me to take it apart, and that's what I'm doing just at this moment. Try not to put my hands on any bees. Don't want to disturb or upset them too much. Okay. So, first thing to do, biggest danger to bees is honeycomb. That drips on them. They get squashed, they die, they're unhappy. Alrighty. So I'll take some of these little combs out and we'll see what we can do. My suspicion is these combs are mostly going to be dry. We don't have a huge number of bees clustering around them. Combs have collapsed by now, and this makes them quite dangerous for bees. Nothing going on in here. These are mostly empty old brood combs. No evidence of queenie. In we go. And remembering what I'm trying to do is get these guys out quickly. Remember, I'm working against the clock and I don't want their brood to chill. Okay. No queen there. No queen, but a little bit of brood there. Pop that in. So just when I'm talking about brood, I'm saying there's the brood pattern, there's the honey, there's the nectar, and there's honey up there. Not interested in that one, don't have time. Okay, let's go through again. Queen cell. Practice cell. Probably not significant. Not something I'm going to bother about hugely. Any queen? See again, you see the treachery of the honey for the bees. Those poor girls are trapped in there and they probably won't survive. We've got to get this out. We've got to get it out before it gets cold because otherwise their larvae will die. We want to get it out without getting too many wet with the honey. So as I said, going through at a great rate of knots. No queen there, no brood there. Don't see eggs. See hatching bees but no eggs. So yeah, these guys probably, and I could pretty much confirm this from the state of the hive. It was reported to us when a whole load of the side combs collapsed. What that is telling us is that these guys are in dearth. Okay, picked up another one. No queen, no obvious queen. If I miss her, I'm not too fussed. I don't expect her to be here. I expect her to be right up the other ends. That's only got some reserves. These girls are actually in quite a bit of trouble. Okay, let's have a look at the brood. Okay, that's a brood frame. Brood pattern is satisfactory for this time of year. Wouldn't write home to my mum about it. If she's a swarm queen, that's less so, but there's wet brood in that. I want that one. So, even though I'm not enormously, hugely happy with it, as a example of perfection in brood, I will take that one. Two reasons: there's a bit of nectar at the top that they can use, a little bit of honey. Most importantly, this wet brood is critically important to us. See the white stuff? You may be able to see it as I angle in there. They're larvae, and they attract the nurse bees. So there we have that. There we have that. Need some lackey bands, make sure that I'm not leaking bees into myself. By the way, if these were aggressive bees, you'd have heard quite a lot of a spiel, because they could easily get into my gloves if they decided that that's what they wanted to do. Fortunately, these are just sweet little bees, these ones. Just need to get out. Note to self, leave the elastic bands outside, don't put them in. Next time. Okay, so here we have, put a band over there. I'll put another band over here, and just so that I don't end up with the world's shittiest comb, I'm going to try and push it in so that the whole thing goes in and a bit over the wire behind it. Okay, now I've got brood to attract the girls in. That makes that the new home. Okay, continuing the process. Oh man, these girls have a lovely pattern. This was a good queen. Is a good queen. Okay, right. Now, let's have a look over here. Do I want to put that in whole? I'll see if I can put that in whole. There are reasons why that's a nice coat. That's a nice frame. I'm just going to stick it. Just going to stick a lackey over it. I'll pull it out a little later to reuse. And I want the girls to have these. Ah! Now, when you're doing these things, something you must always keep an eye out. See how that's chewed open? That's chewed open. We are very, very keen on biosecurity in the West. If you see one that's chewed open, you really need to have a dig around in it. Nothing wrong with that one. Nothing wrong with that one. I've just killed two perfectly good little bees. Very sorry, I haven't killed every hive in this installation when they all have to be destroyed for foul brood, which is a thing. And I screwed up on this one. I've placed these cells upside down, so I'm going to have to do that again. It's important for bees that their cell orientation is correct. I got excited at the thought that I might have to deal with foul brood. No foul brood here, no evidence of it either. Just, you know, cells that are in the middle being ready to come out. Now, when I said I liked this queen, that is one of the reasons why. Look at that for a beautiful pattern. She's a good girl. She's a productive girl, she's a good girl, and she's a gentle girl. What more? She just has lousy taste as far as residential accommodation. Man, that is so good. I'm going to pop that down there because I don't really even want to trim it up at all. It's got everything I want on it. Let me just see. I don't actually want it to freeze though. Now we're getting into the rest of the place, which is somewhat crappier. So look, you can see that we're just coming to the end of the brood nest. And I've been rough with these girls. I squashed one with my things. I don't deserve not to be stung, but they're so sweet that they're not stinging me. Okay, let's have a look here. It's a nice thing, but there are no brood or anything. It might be the sort of place that a queen might run to, so it's certainly worth giving her a rub. I don't see her running out in panic on that. I don't see her there either. So I'm just going to give her a flick. In we go ski. Now we're at the stage of rinse and repeat, really. One. Get out of there, you. So that was buzzing me. Not enormously happy. In this amount of light and under these conditions, while I'm sort of looking for the queen, I'm not looking intensively for her. If I find her, that makes life a load easier. Sort of sets my mind at rest. If I don't, well, you know, that also isn't something that I'm too fussed about. Okay, going to pull up this one that I had before. Look there. I'm going to take you off down to there. So, this is a bit mean, just killed a few of their babies. Sorry about that. But I will get what I need into this hive, and they will survive as a result of it. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. Let me deal with that properly. I'm going to put a longitudinal lacquey band on it, just because I have a feeling that I don't want it to get wrecked. Okay, there you go in there. This one that I have here is almost perfect for this job. All I need to do, a little bit of a trim off the end. Don't like to do that. Has to be done. Everything in life is a bit of a compromise. Okay, now we fit in perfectly. With the exception of a couple of unhappy bees who I just squashed. Sorry girls. And I am also going to put one longitudinally through there like that. Just simply now, my fingers are sticky. I've got bees sticking to them and buzzing at speed, indicating they want to sting me. I don't want to get stung, so I'm flicking my hands a little bit. Beautiful. Yeah, get out of there. Oh, I see. Go. Alrighty. So let's have a look. I'm just going to get the last bit of comb out of that. Okay, this last one is mostly honey. No queen, no queen. Shake, shake, shake. Onto the top. Now, let us now see. If you wanted to, it's not a bad time to go queen spotting. Personally, I actually have to say, a little more keen to just get the whole wretched mess in a stable sort of situation. So the first thing I'm going to do is give this lot a tap. Or maybe not. I do have something that can be used in my advantage though. Let me just pop that down there. Don't want to damage anybody important. So, it's quite a nice big hive, but they have been, I might be okay. Done. Let's have a look over here. I'm really keen nobody gets caught in that honey, especially no one significant. Last place I have to look for the queen. Remember, I haven't looked fairly thoroughly, but I kind of expect if she were around, she'd either be in that hole in the bottom, which I'm not looking at, or maybe up in one of these corners. Let me just have a look. Okay. Okay, no queen there, no queen there, all good. So, oh, that is the queen. And I'm my monkey's uncle. Anyway. These are just a cluster of bees hanging out really at the front of the thing. Don't see any queen there. Take that away. We're out of the current field of operations. Just scanning to see if any royalty over here. No. No royalty down there. No royalty over here. Good. Just going to now there are two things that need to happen now. Number one is that I need to put some food into here and then we'll just wrap it up. So that's just it for the night. I hope you have enjoyed.